We live in a high functioning society. Every day is something different. You have to go to work. And if you don't go to work, then you need to work on your chores, grocery shop, wash your dishes, whatever the case may be. If you don't have those things to do, then you need to spend time with your family, right? You need to spend time with your friends. And even if you don't have any of those things to do, maybe you want to do something for yourself. Maybe you want to learn how to sew. Maybe you want to start collecting something. These things still require effort. We still have to go out and do something. We still have to get mentally prepared to take the class. So our mind and our body are always active. But how often do you take a day to truly reset? I, for one, find that to be very important, not only for our mental health, but for our productivity. When you can have a day to reset, you can really recharge and come back stronger. So in this video, I'm going to provide 3 tips on how you can do this. First tip is to pick a non-negotiable day and put it on your calendar. This is going to be a day that you are consistently going to have this reset day. And the reason you want to do this, one, is because you want to be proactive instead of reactive. Instead of waiting until you are mentally and physically burnt out and you are forced to take a break, why don't you just go ahead and plan that so that you don't get to that point where you are so burnt out and so mentally disillusioned that you have to are literally forced to sit down. When you plan for this, you can actually have better results in the future because you know your day is coming. So when things are getting tough in the beginning of the week, you have that relief that says, you know what, I'm about to have a reset day. It's fine. And then when you come back to that, you can actually perform better on the high priority tasks you had to do instead of having to do all this work until the very end and then crashing out. And the second reason you want to do this is because you want to hold yourself accountable. So when you can put this in your schedule, it shows to yourself that it's a priority, something that you have to do, similar to putting work on your calendar, similar to going to the grocery store on your calendar, similar to making sure you go to that class. You have all these important things on your calendar of things that you have to do, right? Make this one of those things, a non-negotiable, something that must be done for you. And then when you begin to remain consistent with this, it's going to show other people that it's something that you take seriously as well. Think about your work schedule. You work the same shift, let's say 9 to 5. And I've been there. I've had family members that still will text me on a Tuesday at 2 p.m. and say, what you doing? Like, I'm at work. You know I work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. So, like, anytime you text me at 2 o'clock or anytime you text me between those hours, I'm going to be busy. So I get it. You're going to have those people who, like, it goes over their head. But then you also are going to have those people that know your schedule. And they're going to say, oh, today's Thursday. This is the day that my friend, my sister, my whoever takes their reset day, and they're probably not going to be available. So once you can continue to do this and be firm in it, okay, so you can't say I'm going to take a reset day and then go back on it. But when you can be firm on it, people start to pick up on that. So it helps in that aspect as well. And then you don't have to worry about being bothered because people won't bother you. Tip number 2, once you pick your day and put it on your calendar, then you need to commit to making it a disconnect day. Okay, so the purpose of a reset day is to give you mental clarity, give you physical rest, and allow you to spend time doing things you would rather do with your time. What is the point of taking the reset day if you're still going to be checking your work emails, if you're still going to be answering work calls, if you're still going to be surrounding yourself by all these things that are causing you to feel stressed and causing that buildup of burnt out anyway? So when you want to take a disconnect day, that means no emails, that means no work calls, that means, no nothing. So I recommend putting your phone on Do Not Disturb. This is a great function because a lot of times we hear the notification bell go off and we have to see what it is. We get that email and we have to read it. So we're in such a habit of checking our phones as soon as we get an alert, as soon as we get a notification, that it would be better if you just didn't get the notifications, right? So when you can put your phone on Do Not Disturb, you won't get the notifications and then you won't have those distractions. You can focus on yourself. So this is going to be a great tool and a way to hold yourself again accountable to having that reset time and not being distracted by things that could cause you stress. I would even say disconnect from social media as well. Don't post anything. Don't even get on there and look at anything, because a lot of times those things, whether we know it or not, we hold dear to us. We saw a video of something and all of a sudden we don't understand why we're feeling sad 20 minutes later, but we don't realize that it's because of that thing we saw. So again, this is about your mental health. So you want to stay away from things that are causing you stress. If you want to scroll on social media, by all means, it's your time. We're getting to that later. But I would just recommend even detaching from that for a day. People will survive without you. Okay, and like I mentioned earlier, once you start to be consistent with having these days off, people don't even expect to hear from you. They don't expect you to be available because they know this is the day you're going to be off. However, if it's really important to you to be available to certain people, you could always alter your do not disturb functions to let certain texts and certain calls from certain people come through. So it's not a big deal, but just want to throw that out there. Then my third and final tip is, once you've picked the day and you put that in your calendar, you've established that you are going to disconnect with society on this day, the third thing is to figure out how you want to spend the day. Again, this day is about you. Maybe this is a time for you to develop a skill that you otherwise didn't have time for. Maybe it's a time for you to connect spiritually with whatever spirit, whatever religion, whatever connection makes you feel whole. You can spend time doing that. Maybe this is the time where you want to recenter and journal and dump out your thoughts. However you want to spend the day, what is important. So design what your day is going to look like. How am I going to spend my reset day? And remember, you got to reset. So this isn't meant to be a time for you to catch up on tasks that you weren't able to do the other 6 days of the week. It's meant to give you the time and the space to do things you have to neglect because you spend so much time on other things. A quick example. So a few years back, I used to work 2 jobs, and because of that schedule, it caused me to work 7 days a week, right? So you can imagine how that played out. So eventually I got to a place where I was like, you know what? I just need one day. Like I spend every day giving my energy to something else, to somebody else, whoever. I just need a day where I don't have to think about anything. So that is how I came up with this in the first place. So for me, I picked Wednesdays. And the reason I picked that day was because it's kind of in the middle of the week, right? It's like Monday through Friday, and then some people get the weekends, which the weekends are usually time to do chores and cooking and other stuff, visit people, do social events. So weekends can be kind of packed anyway. So you might as well say 7 days a week, there's something going on. So I needed a break in the middle of the week. I'm already working hard Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I get a nice Wednesday break, and I can come back Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So it was a way for me to break up my schedule. So that's what I did. And then I did my do not disturb function. So I picked my day, and then I set up the settings. So I allowed calendar notifications to come through because sometimes there will be things that I will want to do on a Wednesday that I need to remind myself to do. But since my phone was on do not disturb, I wouldn't get those notifications. So I allowed calendar invites to come through. I made it a habit. After that, I designed my day. So for me, it was more so about learning myself, developing myself, and having connection. So I would start my mornings very slow. I'd make myself a nice breakfast. I'd do some meditation. I'd do some stretching. I'd go on a walk. I'll do some journaling. And I would learn things auditorily, listen to podcasts or YouTube videos about myself, like how to grow my spirit, how to connect more with this, how to mastermind, how to raise my vibration, stuff like that. Like that was when I did this, what I cared about. As time has gone on, what I care about doing has changed. So sometimes I go to a park and I skate because I've been wanting to grow my skills as a skater. So I go outside, and that's how I spend my day. I was a time where I wanted to read a lot of books. So Wednesday was like my read a book day. So the things that I do on my day has changed, but the day has always been Wednesday. And that has been going on for 5 years now. So we're pretty consistent. And then I also have a will talk to and will not talk to list. So it used to be where I would not talk to anyone on Wednesdays. But then I realized some people make me feel nice, So really, it's not that I need to disconnect from everyone. It's just certain people I didn't want to speak to, So because maybe they always had a problem. But the only time they called me is like to vent, whatever. It wasn't really a problem because I enjoy being there for people and allowing people to express their feelings and get it off their chest. So it's not that was the issue, but it's just, again, I do that 7 days a week. So I just wanted a day where I didn't have to do that. So there used to be people that was on the will talk to list that every Wednesday it seemed like they had a problem, so they moved to the will not talk to list, So it's not like I don't never get back to it. It's just not on that day. So you get what I mean. So this is how I did this, and it's been working great for me. I talk to friends, I talk to family members, I talk to clients, and one thing everyone has in common is that they are just burnt out. They need a break. They go on vacation and they're like, this was great. I didn't have to worry about anything. And I'm like, yeah, I understand that you can't always bring vacation home, right? Because you're gone for a week, you're getting pampered, all this stuff. But you can bring a little piece of vacation back home with you. And I think taking one day a week for yourself isn't really too much to ask. And I think if anyone tells you Otherwise, then they're probably a little selfish and have malintentions for you. So that's all I got for this video. I really hope you enjoy it. Comment below, let me know what day you're thinking of taking for your reset day and how you feel that you can incorporate that in your life. If you did like this video, you know what to do. Give me that nice friendly thumbs up. And if you want to grow your mindset some more, check out one of my videos. It's called Is Life Happening to You? I'll pin that this corner. Actually, I think it's this corner. I never remember like what corner the cards are in, but I think it's this one. So in case it's not, I'll just point both directions. But I'll card that here so you can see it, and I'll put it at the end of my video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Per usual, I invite you to join my community by subscribing to my newsletter and my blog. And I'll catch you in the next one. Don't forget to crush it.